Hello, everyone. Welcome to Stampin' Scrapper. I'm Joyce Whitman. I'm an independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up. I'm glad you could join me tonight. I'm going to wait a couple minutes here to see if more people can get on before I get started. Today, I'm going to be making two cute and easy, as you can see them right here, Valentine's treats that you can use for gift cards, or you can use for embellishments, or of course we got this one in the middle for chocolate. So how is everyone doing tonight? I'm doing good, still nervous. It's my second one, so I'm still a little nervous here. Oops, I gotta adjust my camera just a little. There we go. I think that's better. So wait a couple minutes, or a minute or so here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Welcome. I'm Joyce Whitman. Again, I'm an independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up. Tonight, I'm going to show you how to make these adorable holders. First, we're going to make these two right here. You can use them for embellishments. This one are the hard epoxy droplets from Stampin' Up. They're in the 2019 Occasions catalog. And in this one, let me move that one. Well, this one, guess what? It fits a gift card. You know how you get those gift cards like this and it's packaged all in this and you don't know how you're going to put this in a holder? Well, I happen to be looking around to see what else I could show you that you could put in there. And I saw this laying on my desk. Perfect. It fits perfect. Cute. You could decorate these for any season, any reason, just by changing out your designer series paper. Then we're going to show you, I'm going to show you how to make this little guy. This came about because I bought these Ghirardelli chocolates. Wonderful, of course. Who doesn't love Ghirardelli caramel together? Hello. Hi, Linda. And I love Ghirardelli. So, but when I went to take them out, you know, we always think of the Ghirardelli in the squares. Nope. Look, they're a rectangle. How goodness, what am I going to do? So me that loves to make 3D projects decided to design a little box for them. You pull up on this and look at, there's your chocolate, put it back in, and you have a cute little holder to put it in. And looks perfect. I use these. This one actually I made for my ladies that were at my Stampin' Stack on Sunday. And the ones that are coming to my class on this coming Sunday, you get a sneak peek of what you're going to get. These two I made for my bingo night that I had on Friday night, which we had a lot of fun. I just love my bingo nights. They're so much fun. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to show you how to make, we're going to work on these two first. So to make these, I was looking at this and I thought, there's got to be an easy way, just a cute little package to make, but how do I come up with it? So I started to play around and I knew I just wanted it flat, nothing fancy. So I'm going to show you this paper here. Can you see that? It is so pretty. Look at how shiny that is. That is our lovely lipstick foil sheets from our celebration pages brochure. I cannot talk tonight. I apologize. This is the lovely lipstick, and this one is the Grapefruit Grove. They are so pretty. I'm trying to see that you can see them. I know my lights are glaring, but look how this one changes color. They are just beautiful. So what we're going to be, let me show you these in the catalog. The celebration ones that we're going to use today are right here on page 12. They are these sheets right here, and you can get these for free. If you order $50 free of product between now and the end of March, you can get products out of here for free. One product for every $50, or two products for every $100. Or if you do order $100, you can also take your choice of these beautiful framelits for the Tea Time stamp set that's in our not annual, Occasions catalog. And this stamp set, oh my goodness, Lasting Lily, love, love, love that. You've seen a lot already on my blog. You're going to see a lot more coming in the coming weeks. But we're going to use this paper. We're going to use the lovely lipstick in that. Oh, did you see those frogs? Look how cute those frogs are. We made a card with those at my Stampin' Stack. Oh, they were awesome. Love, love, love them. Okay. So, and then the stamp set and different products that we're going to be using are in the Occasions catalog. On page, let's go back here a minute. On page 5, we're going to be using this beautiful paper here, All of My Love Designer Series paper. And it's kind of hard sometimes to see in the catalog what that paper looks like. So this is what I made up so you can see it better. One of those is this one right here. Whoops, let me grab those from underneath my desk. Is this one right here. We do that, and if you look on the inside, you can see this pattern here. And then this one is this pattern right here on the bottom, and if you look inside, you can see this. And tonight we're going to be using this pattern right here to make our holder. And look at all the beautiful paper in there. You can do so many things, and it just doesn't have to be just for Valentine's. Like this one, even you can use hearts to show someone you love or you're caring about them. But so many possibilities with this paper. And then we are going to be using, on this page, on page 6, we are going to be using the Meant to Be stamp set. Oops, trying to do it this way so you don't get a glare on it from all my lights. But then we're going to use this, and today we're going to be using the Sentiment Just For You. And this comes as a bundle too. Here you can get the stamp set and the framelits at a 10% discount if you get both. And guess what? It's $53 for this bundle right here, and you get a free product. You can get the beautiful, lovely lipstick, lovely foil sheets. Hi, Tara. Hi, Peggy. Hi, Kathy. So glad you joined me tonight. Now, for this project, you can see we have 2 hearts here. And I will show you how you can get that done on your big shot. And that's just one framelit to make those 2 hearts. How cool is that? So these are the framelits that come in the stamp set. I mean the framelit packet. And let's get these out. So here we go. Now remember, these are our new clean stamps. So you can't just, you know how we used to just pick them up? You can't. You want to, I'm going to try to zoom in here so you can see a little bit. You're going to want to pick up, see how I'm picking up underneath the, I'm drawing a blank on the label. That's what I want to say. You're going to pick that up, and they are super, super sticky. See, they won't move. And then to line them up, what I do is I put it on here, and I use my grid paper as a guide to try to line them up. Now, you don't have to be really picky on this one because we're going to be punching it out. So you want to put it on your block. There you go. And guess what? That bugger is not going to move. You can move it all over. But remember, when you go to take it off, make sure you get underneath, get underneath that label so you don't ruin your stamp. So we're going to be using this one just for you. Let's see here. Okay, to start with, where did my paper go? Oh my goodness, I had everything set, I thought set up, and now I cannot find my sheet of good paper ready to go. Oh, here it is. It was hiding. Okay, so I want to show you to do the hearts. I'm not going to bring up the big shot. I'm still new at doing this, so I'm not going to bring up the big shot to show you how to push it through. But these are the 2 that you're going to use. You will get all of these. There's 16 framelits in this set. So what's nice is you're going to put this one on, and you're going to lay this one right like that, center it, send it through your big shot, and you are going to get these 2 right here. You're going to get the heart and this heart if you send them both through. And you know what? This one's going to be stitched too because I didn't cut out an extra one. I put that one on it right away too. So this one's going to look a little bit different, but that's okay. Our joke on Sunday was, it's your designer's choice. When you do something that's not the same as everyone else, it's a designer choice. No problem. So we're going to pretend I set this through the big shot, and this is what we ended up with. Isn't it magic like they do on cooking shows? it magically appears. Well, that's how I did it tonight. Okay, now for this paper, what I did was I went ahead and I cut it. And I cut it at 5 3/4 by 8 1/2. You can see my little cheat sheet here. This will also be on my blog tomorrow at stampinscrapper.com. It will have all the measurements, and I also have this template that is on my blog too. So we're going to start here. Let me move this stuff out of our way. Let's put that up there. Okay, let me get out our scoring tool because that is going to be perfect for doing 3D projects. You can do this on your trimmer also, but I like using my scoring tool for this. So we're going to put this up on our 8-inch side. Now, if this had a design that you wanted to go a certain way, you want to make sure that when we do this score line on this, when you do your score line this way, you want to make sure that whatever design you have, if you want to go it one way, I guess it doesn't matter on that side. You're going to want to make sure, like if I use this piece, here's a little piece for our next project. You're going to want to make sure your paper is going the right direction so that it's going to be up when we do make this. So this one, it won't matter because it goes all over different directions. So we're going to start at 2 3/4. You're going to score here. Now this is designer series paper, so it's a little bit thinner. So our stylus has 2 ends. You have a big one and a little one. You want to use the big end for the designer series paper so it doesn't rip it when you do it. So we're going to score this at 2 3/4, and we're going to score it at 6 1/2. And then we're going to turn it, and I'm going to say that I want this one as my bottom. So I need to come in a 1/2 inch. So this is at 5 3/4. We're going to come in at 5 1/4 and score it. Or you can score it right here at your 1/2 inch, whichever one works best for you. So we're going to take that. And now you're going to, now this is going to be a little bit hard for me to see because of all the lights that I have, but we are going to, for me, it's easier to cut it before I burnish it, but you know what? I think it's going to be easier for me to see if I burnish first. And when I say burnish, what I'm talking about is you want to fold your lines on your score lines. And what sometimes your paper will move a little bit, but you want to make sure when you're doing that, that this is even. I'm talking really fast because I'm really excited and I apologize. I'm going to try to slow down. You're going to want to make sure that this is even. So we're going to go ahead, and this is called burnishing when you use your bone folder and go across. Whenever you're doing a 3D project, you want to make sure you use your bone folder because you want those crisp lines. Then we're going to come over here and we're going to do this one. And yes, they are not equal in size. You'll see one's flap is bigger than the others. And that, I don't know, I just took my paper and folded it, and that's how it came out. So they're all like that. So now we're also going to do our bottom line here. There we go. So now we need to cut because we don't, when you go to fold it like this, well, what are you going to do with all this down here? We don't want all that. So what you need to do is, okay, I got my little cheat sheet here. See my little cheat sheet? I got one already made up so I can use the cheat sheet. Okay, so we're going to turn it this way because this is going to be my front. So I want to cut my lines right here. Can you see that? But I want to make this at a little bit of an angle just so it will fold up nicer. And then we're going to cut on this score line right here. Because I apologize because it's a little hard to see with all these lights. I remember watching other people do videos before I started videos, and I'm like, why is it so hard? Well, now I know it is very hard to see under these bright lights that we use so that you guys can see what we're doing. Okay. Alrighty, and we're going to do the same thing on this side. We're going to do a little angle on this piece right here. Not much, just a little bit. And then we're going to cut it up on here on this line. I thought this side might be easier to see, but I'm not quite sure here. Okay, those look good. Let's straighten it up a little bit. If anyone knows me, they know I am OCD and things need to be straight. Get back up there, heart. Okay, so we're done with cutting that part for right now. Okay, And like I said, this is so easy, guys. You're going to love it. So now you're going to take your tear and tape, and we're going to put it on the back side. This is going to be our front. So we want to flip it over, and we're going to put some here because this will hold our flap up. And you just put it on there and tear. Nails work wonders for these, so you make you tear. Oh, I was going to grab one, and I saw a lady on the internet this week. She used a credit card. So I'm going to put another one here, and she put her credit card here, or an old gift card or whatever. She put it here and ripped, and it gave her a straight line. And you know me, gotta have my line straight. Usually, for time's sake, I'm not doing it tonight, but usually I use scissors so that they're straight. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna tear off this. Oh, another trick she showed me, go like this with your bone folder, and that makes sure your tape is down nice, and it's gonna stick. And we're gonna just peel this up. I use tweezers because of my nails. It's easier for me to get the top layer off of this tape. Oops, come on. Okay, now it's being stubborn on me. Let's go from this end. It does not want to rip off nice for me. There we go. Okay. So what I did, because you don't want it real flat, because you want to be able to put your product in there, you don't want it real tight. So what I did is I would stick mine in here, what I was going to put in here, and just lay it there. So that way I knew I wasn't going to make it too small for it. So I'm going to bring this one up on this side. I do my little one first. I bring over my left one, and see how I'm not sure if you can see. I'm letting it go up a little bit. I'm not doing it real tight because I want to be able to slide that in and out. Then we're going to put it down, and then you're going to bring your little piece here and bring it up. And then what I do is I take my bone folder and I go on them like this, and then we can take this out, and it's easier to do it once this is out. Stick those back in there. So we'll do it again, and that way we just know that our tape is down good. So we got the base on what we want to do. We got our hearts already cut out. So now we need to do our image, our sentiment. So for our sentiment, we're going to be using Just For You. Remember, we're going to be using it. Oh, let me put these back. We're going to be using it for the meant to be. And you know what I just did? I just used my ribbon scissors on paper. I yell at my family all the time, you are not allowed to touch my ribbon scissors. And how do I know they're ribbon scissors? They have a piece of ribbon on them. And I just cut paper with them. Uh-oh, I am in trouble with myself. Like my daycare kids say, they would have put me in timeout. So we're going to go ahead and do our image. Now this has, see how it's a little bit thicker? So what I do is I go tap, 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 twist, 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 tap, tap, tap. Look and make sure you get a solid image. Stamp it, go straight down. 1, 2, 3, straight up. Voila, perfect image. Let's go ahead and close this. You always want to close your ink pads. Don't leave them open, number one. They dry out faster if you leave them open. Number two, you don't want to hit your project on it and then have to start all over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, and these are our chamois, and just wipe it off, and it's clean, ready to go. Perfect. So we can put that one over there. And let me show you, since I'm done with that one, let me grab this. I'll show you how I take it off the block. I'm just going to lift it up like that. I'm grabbing underneath so I get that. Now, one thing you want to make sure you don't leave these on overnight or for a long period of time, because they will stick pretty hard on there and you have to really work it. I forgot about one and it was on for 4 days and it just didn't want to budge for me. So what I did is I took my handy dandy take a pick tool and I used the spatula end and I just went under it like this, gentle. So I'll do it on this side. I'm going to go gently under it and just slowly, can you see how I'm doing that? Let my camera focus. See how I'm slowly going under that? And then I get it lifted up and then I can take it off. You can get them off. It just takes a little more patience and work to get them off, but you can get them off there. So if you try to remember not to leave them on, but if you do, it's not going to be the end of the world. Just be patient with it. Okay, Now we're going to use our pretty label punch. This is in the annual catalog. That's what I wanted to say. Okay, so we're going to go in here. And remember, you always want to stamp. You know, when you're kids, you want to stamp like this because you see the design on here. You want to flip it over so you can see what you're punching. Slide it in. And you're going to line it up. That looks good. And punch. Okay, so we're done with that. We can set that off to the side. Now we're going to go in here, and now we're going to make assemble our project. First of all, on our Just For You, we're going to put Stampin' Dimensionals on that one because I want that to pop up a little bit. And I just put one on each end here. And then also, I don't remember, I think, did I pop? No, I did not pop this. I used snail adhesive on this one. So we'll just go ahead and get that on. What I like to do a lot of the times is I like to have everything taped up. So when I'm going to put it together, it's just like grabbing them and putting them together. I'm not sitting there grabbing one, put the adhesive on, grab another, put an adhesive on. So I try to do mine all at the same time. Okay, so I want, because see how thin this is hurt. Let me see if I can put it on here. You can see it better. There you go. See how thin this heart is? And we're going to use glue dots with it. And our glue dots, I have to take one off. I'll show you here in a minute. This also has a point on it. So I'm going to unlock it, flip it, put it back in. You're going to lock it back up. And now this time I want to use my pointer part because I want to get my glue dot. Okay, I want to show you. I'm not sure if you can see how tiny this is. Let me lift it up and see so you can see. Okay, see how tiny that glue dot is? It is tiny. But I want to take it. I'm hoping that you guys can see this. I want to take it and I'm going to fold it in half is what I want to do because I want to put that. I'm going to put one right here on the diagonal part or where the point is. I'm going to put one right there. And then because I'm going to be sticking it down, I'm going to put one on each side here. So again, I'm going to get out, slide that down, grab one, fold it in half, and I'm just going to put one here. I think if I remember correctly, I used 4 of them because I didn't want this to come off because I knew I was just using like tiny, you know, I'm flattening them out and making them real skinny. So I want to make sure they're going to hold and it's not going to come off when someone picks it up. There we go. And one more. And did you notice I had ribbon on my glue dots? I saw this online and I thought, what a brilliant idea. I would have never thought about this. But I just took a little piece of ribbon, tied it in a knot around, and then that way you can pull it and it doesn't go all over. If it falls, it's not going to unroll all over on you. So you're going to go ahead and you're going to pick this up and you want to be careful because you already have your glue dots on it. I just kind of angled it a little bit like this. Press it down. Then I'm going to pick up my heart. And this one I just kind of did at an angle like this. There's really no rhyme or reason. As I tell my ladies, do whatever your little heart desires. Now on this, I'm going to show you another little trick. Sometimes it's hard to get these off. So what you do is you take your nail and you push it down in the center like that. And it will make these come off a lot easier. And there you go. Oops. Okay. And we're going to take this and we're just going to kind of center it so you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm not putting my arm in front of you. That looks good. And I'm going to push it down. Well, we all know this is not complete because there's no bling. So we need to add bling. And you guys know I'm an organizational freak. I like my things organized and labeled. Well, my label maker can't go without that. So what I do is I use these cases, and we sell these. These are what our photopolymer and our cling will come in. Our thicker ones used to be what our wood blocks, wood stamp sets would come in, but this is the thinner ones. And I just love butterflies, as all of you know that, with my logo being a butterfly. What I did was take 2 sheets out of the oh goodness, Butterfly Botanical DSP that's in the celebration brochure. And I cut this at 7 inches by, I think it was 10 5/8 is what I cut that at. And then it just decorates it, and it looks pretty when it's sitting on the shelf. But I'm going to go ahead and here, this one I have my rhinestones. So I'm going to take my piece of paper out, my rhinestones out, and I'm going to use my poker. Now you can use the spatula part too, whichever one works best for you. I just put 3 on here because you want to remember we do everything in odds. I think I stuck 1 here, and then 1 here. And there you go. And that is how easy it is to make that. Wasn't that fast and easy? Okay, let me put this away so we get that out of our way. And there you go. So we have our 3 projects, 3 different, and these are all from the same Designer Series paper pack. And they are beautiful. You can use this one easily just for you, gift card for a friend, or I have lots of people that love to stamp. My friends do. I can give them a little embellishment pack, and away you go, and they will love it. Okay, so that's our first project. Let's go on to our second project. And this one is going to be, just give me a couple of seconds here to get everything set out, get it organized here a little bit. Okay, this is what we're going to be making, so I'll let you look at that for a minute. Okay, get my ribbon. Okay, so I think I have everything I need. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what products we're going to use first. First of all, we're going to be using Lovely Lipstick line paper, and this you're going to cut at 3.5 by 4.5, and we're going to score it at 1.5, 2, 2.5, and 4. We're going to need Designer Series paper, and we're going to cut this at 1 3/8 by 2 7/8. And again, I used that beautiful paper from the same stamps, Designer Series paper that I showed you earlier. I am using this one right here. We're using these hearts. And then we are going to use, I did the framelits, and this time I used this framelit right here, the longer, skinnier heart. I just used the little one. And I cut 1 out of these, the Lovely Lipstick, and also 1 out of our glitter paper, the sparkle glitter paper. That's what it's called. Sorry, something is falling off here. Okay, so, and then we're going to be using Lovely Lipstick ribbon. This is the 1/8 inch ribbon. We're going to use the cotton ribbon. That is, classic weave ribbon in Whisper White. We're going to be using that. For our stamp set, we're going to be using Itty Bitty Greetings. This is in the, oh my goodness, annual catalog. And this I love because you get 32 stamps. Do you see that? I know my lights are glaring, but you get 32 stamps in that set. Awesome. But sometimes you just need a little bit of, what do I want to say? A sentiment. You don't want anything big like this. You don't want anything big on it. You want something little. So let's go ahead and we will get started here. Let me move this stuff off to the side just a little bit. Oh, I wanted to show you this. To put our ribbon through, we are going to be using, there we go. I marked it because I knew I'd have problems finding it. We're going to be using the Bitty Blooms Punch Pack. This is in the Occasions catalog on page 25. It is part of the Happiness Blooms suite. And actually, we're going to be using this stamp set and papers and things for our stamp camp classes this week. What I've been doing is using one stamp set and showing them 3 different ways on how to use that stamp set. Okay, so let's get these out of our way. We'll bring back our beautiful scoring tool again. Make sure that's in so you can see it. Okay, we're only going to use 1 paper. I had an extra in case I made a mistake, which is very possible. So this time, because we are using cardstock, you're going to want to use your little point this time. So on the 4.5 inch side, you're going to score at 1/2 inch, oops, at 2 inches, 2.5 inches, and at 4 inches. You're going to turn this, and you're going to score this at, I believe it is, 1/2 inch. So this is at 3.5 to make it easier because it's kind of hard to do it over here. I'm just going to go and score it at the 3 inch mark. Okay, so that one, we're all done with that now. This time, yes, I'm going to be cutting paper, so I'm going to be using my paper snips, not my ribbon scissors. Goodness gracious. Okay, again, you want to cut, oh, yeah, like I said, I like to cut before I burnish, so I'm going to cut up on these score lines. I'm going to go all the way up to the line that we did across at the 1/2 inch mark, and we're going to bring it up. Now this one, this is going to be our bottom, and these are going to be our tabs. I don't need this one right here because we already have two. So I want to cut that off. But again, I want to do a little angle like I did on the other project because it just folds a little bit easier when you do that. So now we're going to go in and we're going to burnish ours. Score lines. We go through here. Now with my cardstock, I do tend to go over them a couple times just to make sure, or I give it a little more pressure than I would normally with my designer series paper because it is thinner. Unless you use when we have our thick dye designer series, you can do a little bit harder. Alrighty, so this is what our box is going to look like. So that will be what our box looks like. But first, what I want to do is I want to go ahead and put my designer series paper on. Now this is cut at 1 3/8 by 2 7/8, and I just use snail adhesive. Put this on. Go ahead and put that on. And remember my trick from last time? I made sure, let me bring this up. I made sure that my, whoops, sorry, that these 3 lines were even, you know, had the same amount of space there. I put my finger here, drop it, and spread it across, and it fits perfect. So we're going to leave that there. Now, this is when you can do it different ways, but I like to do my hose now to have them done. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to turn it this way, and I want, on this punch, it's nice because you have 2 holes. But what if you want only one of them? Well, I only want the top one. So what I'm going to do is flip it over so I can see what I'm doing, and I'm going to bring it up here closer so you can see. I want to see, can you see where my paper is? Oh, I'm trying to make sure you guys can see this. Give my camera a minute to focus. There it goes. Okay, I want to bring it all the way down and see how I'm bringing it down just a tiny, tiny bit in there. In the second part, whoops, I'm just going to push it down a little bit so it holds it. Here, see how it's got a little bit of the red there? You're going to pull it back up so that that red is at the very tip of this bottom one because you don't want it to punch that out. And we want to make sure that it's centered on here. I'm going to move this over just a little bit and punch. Now, if you happen to get a little bit of this punched out on it, don't worry about it because guess what? Your ribbon's going to hide it, so it won't matter. And I'm going to do the exact same thing on this one again. Bring it in. I bring it down so I can see it so I know where I'm putting it. Bring it back up so you can't see it anymore and punch. All right. And that's all you do for the little holes. Whoops. Okay. Let's get this out of our way. All right. Now we want to put our adhesive. And again, I'm going to use my tear and tape. Now, I like to do a trial run to make sure because we want this as the front of our box. So we don't want it to come over like this. We want this to look nice in the front. So you're going to put it so that this flap here goes over your back flap. So this is where you're going to put your tape. So we're going to flip it over. And we're going to put our tape right here. Whenever I do 3D projects, I do use the tear and tape because I like the stronger adhesive when I'm doing them. And then again, I just check and double check because I want to make sure that I do it right. I fold it, and I want this flap to go on last because we're going to bring these in like this. And that's the back. So we want the front, you want it down so it looks nice and neat. So we're going to put our adhesive on this flap right here. So we just put on a little piece here. Whoops. And rip. Okay, we're done with that. Go ahead and push this down. Now, I don't take these both off right away. I only do one at a time. So we're going to take this one off. You can take them both off at the same time if you want to. For me, it's just easier because I'm afraid that I'm going to accident like this, or you'll see what I do. So I'm folding this flap over here. I'm holding it down, and you just bring this down because it's a box. It's going to fold flat. So you just go like this, lay it down, push it firmly, and they're going to line up. See how they lined up perfect? They're perfectly lined up. There, voila, you have your box. Now we're going to go ahead and put our little flaps in first, and then this one, and then I'm going to bring in and take off my tape layer. And of course it's being stubborn again. There we go. And then I'm just going to bring this in and try to make sure that it's square. And bring this, whoops, I got it out of the camera, sorry. Then bring it in and then tape it down. Now I will take my bone folder and rub it back and forth in there so that way it is down there. Good. So now the next thing I want to do is I want to decorate my box. Remember, I cut out 2 of the hearts. I did the lovely lipstick and the sparkle glimmer paper. Now with these, I am going to use, I found with this one, because it has a different backing, where did it go? I'm going to use my glue dots. And what I did was I put a dot here, I'll show you on here, both of the hearts, and then at the tip. So both humps and the tip. So we'll put glue dots on. And I did the glue dots also on the lovely lipstick too. Oh, I'm almost running out. I should have enough for finish this project. All right. So we're going to put our glimmer one down first. Now, with my nails, because sometimes it's hard to see what I'm doing, I will take my tweezers and I will hold, whoops, don't put it where the tape is, but I'll kind of hold it like this, and then that way I can position it better where I want, and then push down. I'm going to do the same thing with the red one. Go like this. And there you go. Okay, now for our sentiment. This is tiny, isn't it? So what I'm going to do, this is only 3/8 of an inch thick, and I just cut off 3/8 of an inch off a scrap piece. I didn't, it doesn't matter because we're going to go ahead and we're going to trim that once we stamp it. So now this one is going to be fun because I'm going to try to do this on the camera without you sticking my head in there so you can see it. Let me see if I can line this up. There we go. Okay, so I'm lining this up because I want to keep it straight. And this is the For You. Now this is the clear. It does not have the clean label on it, so you can't see what it says. We're going to ink it up gently because you don't want it on your edges. You want it just on the stamp part. And I'm going to try to line this up. We're going to go over to this side in case I make a mistake. I can re-stamp it. Oh, not bad. All right, yay. We'll take it. All right, let me get this cleaned off quick. Again, come in with my chamois. Wipe, wipe, wipe. It's all cleaned off, ready to go for my next color. Love the chamois. Okay, close this up because we don't want to get that on any of our projects. Okay, now with this one, all I did was I used my paper, whoops, almost dropped it. Used my paper snips and I just cut it, oh, about here. I mean, it wasn't any magical science. I'm like, oh, that looks good. Again, I'll go, oh, that looks good, and cut it off. Now, for this one, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use our mini dimensionals. I love these little guys. Let me grab this out again. And you can also use your paper piercer too, if you have that, to take off the dimensionals. actually, I think I'm going to use my paper piercer. Because see, the point's a little bit smaller. Let's see, look at this one. See the difference in the points? So for this, because I'm doing the mini dimensionals, I'm going to go ahead and use my paper piercer. So I am going to take off one of these. Okay, and then flip this over. Now, see how I already have these two hearts. So they're already sticking up a little bit. So I only want to put my dimensional under the U part. So we're going to flip that over and put it on that end only. And that's all I'm using to stick it down. I didn't put it, you could put adhesive on this side if you want. I did not do that. And then I'm just going to come in here and put this about there. That looks good. And there you go. And there we have for you. Now, to put our candy in, we're going to, I went ahead and already cut my ribbon. This ribbon is cut at 11 inches. And I want to show you a little trick. Excuse me a minute. My daughter, excuse me, Erica has had a bad cold all weekend. Actually, she's going on about 6 or 7 days with it, and I think I might be getting it. All of a sudden, my throat's real dry. Could be because I'm talking all the time. Surprise, surprise. Okay, so see, it's kind of hard to get your ribbon in there. How are you going to get it in there? So what I do is I just kind of lay it across like that, and you can use your paper piercer or paper piercer, your piercing tool, or I use the tip of my scissors, my snips, push it in, pull it a little bit, and I'm going to do the exact same thing on this one. Try to get it so you guys see it, and pull it through. Okay, now I'm going to make sure that this is flat, and I'm going to even these two ends out. I'm going to pull those together and even them out. Now, it's not going to be perfectly flat because we're using a hole and this is flat. So, I mean a circle. So you're going to put your Ghirardelli chocolate, and you want to make sure that your heart's going the right way and up at the top. And you're going to push it down, and that's going to pull both of the strings down. So you push it down, so you have these two strings left right here. Ribbons, I should say, not strings. Okay, and you can just straighten out the ribbon a little bit, make it look a little pretty. Hold on here. Oh, because I was going the wrong way. No wonder it didn't look right. Okay. All right. So now we're going to cut. This is when we're going to come in with our, what are they calling this? This is, oh, just gross grain. It's a 1/8 inch ribbon. Now, you're going to probably think this is weird. Maybe you do this too. But for my bows to look decent, I have to tie them upside down. Do you guys have to do this? Because look, if I didn't, my tails would be going every which way. It's just not good. So we're going to do it this way. And my little daycare kids love to help me. So they thought it was fun to put their finger here while I tied the bow. So we're going to try this without my little helpers today to tie this, but we're going to go ahead. Oops. And I'm going to take, I don't measure this. I'm probably taking too much today because I'm on camera, but I just leave it on the spool so that way I'm not wasting any ribbon. So you're going to come in here and you're going to tie it. See how it goes up like that? So my kids would help me hold it down, but we're just going to flatten it out a little bit. Then you're going to make your bow. And then I was working on this, and my lady that it does my nails, love her, love her, love her, but she made my nails too long. And I was trying to make all these little bows, and it just wasn't happening. And I thought, oh my goodness, I am going to have to shorten those before I do this video. Okay, so we're just making a tiny bow, and they're still a little too long to do a little bow, but it's working. We'll make it work. Okay, so we're going to tie that. Now, this is when I'm going to flip it the right way so I can get everything the way I want it. Now, I don't want my bow that big, so we're going to just pull on them, straighten it, and get it the way you want it. There, that looks good. And then, see how I did it kind of high because I was working on tying it? Push it down a little bit. Okay, I'm going to just go ahead and, you know what? This is when I bring in my ribbon scissors. I'm going to go ahead and snip this. Oops. Snip. And snip. And then And I don't want this tail that long, so I'm going to go ahead and snip that. That looks good. And take that off. And there you have that project. So that's cute. This would be really cute. You know, even if you don't use, well, I don't think you want to give your kids class Ghirardelli chocolate, but you could find something a little chocolate, like a Hershey chocolate in there would be wonderful. You could do that in there. And then you just pull this up and voila, you have it. So easy peasy lemon squeezy. Don't we all love ones like that? Okay, come on, go down there for me. There we go. And there you go. So I made those two. Those are those. And then let me show you the other projects that we did. We did this one and then these two. And they're perfect for the, I wonder if you could put a dimensional in there. Let's try it. I wonder if this will fit. Let's see. You know what? A new one now. A full one might work better. Let's try. That one's bending. Hey, guess what? It's a little snug. You would have to, but it does. You could use it. Put a dimensional in there. I would just maybe not put it as tight as I did for these, but it would definitely work. Good idea. I got to remember that one. So we have this one, or you can even use it for a gift card. Works perfect for that. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed your time with me tonight and learning how to make these. Thank you for joining me, and I will hope to see you again next week. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.